Hamas, bad IDF, bad. PLA is the only way for peace in Palestine and Gaza. Okay, dude. Good luck. It's not even a fucking question. Like, it's not. This is not something. I don't think this is something that you can even argue. You know? I just. How? I need to hear someone try to argue this position without fucking lying and saying that, like, well, Israel's doing everything legally and it's not a genocide at all. Like, that's not. There's no argument. Israel's objectively killed more. It's objectively killed more civilians. Its targeting is a higher density of civilians as opposed to enemy combatants, armed enemy combatants. Okay. And this is if we create a moral playing field that is even, when there is no even moral playing field between a violent settler colonial occupation that is conducting an exterminationist policy built around ethno-religious supremacy. Israel is the Nazi in this equation. They are closer to ISIS in this equation than Hamas ever could be. They're closer to the Nazis in this equation than Hamas is. Okay? And on the other side, you have an emancipatory militant movement that was born out of this captive population filled to the brim with orphan soldiers. Like, what the fuck? There is no moral equivalence. Israel has the population registry of every single person that lives in Gaza. You know, they know where everyone is. There's 24/7 round-the-clock surveillance with drones. Israel has an infinitely more superior military power. You're talking about a group, a band of national emancipatory movement aligned groups that got together after all of this death and destruction and chose to fight back against the apartheid state in a fucking open air prison that is now turned into an open air death camp, right? And you're trying to compare that to fucking what Israel's been doing for 76 years. It's ridiculous. It's not a fucking, there is no moral equivalence on this. This is why I get very frustrated when people try to make this idiotic false equivalence or say everyone is bad. It's like, yeah, okay, dude. The Nat Turner Rebellion was incredibly gruesome. Are you going to turn around and defend chattel slavery now? Like, what are we doing? Eyes on the prize. The fuck? Why is Hasan not banned yet? Free speech defenders when you don't say a slur and instead talk about American foreign policy as it pertains to a foreign ally doing a fucking genocide. They're like, please ban this person, please. Please don't ban me, but Hamas is a terrorist group, right? Yes. Hamas is designated as a terrorist group. Remember yesterday when I was talking to Jeremy Scahill about the first application of the vague definition of terrorism? As I told you, the first ever group that was branded a terrorism group was literally the Palestinian Liberation Front, the Palestinian Liberation Groups. That was the first ever application in a legal document in Congress that utilized the term terrorism. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Do you think if the founding fathers had pipe bombs and rockets, they wouldn't use them? Kind of weird. No one calls them terrorists. I mean, they were terrorists. The founding fathers were terrorists against the British monarchy. The great Reverend John Brown was a terrorist against slavers. An incredibly important person in the abolitionist movement. He was a fucking terrorist. It does not matter. Terrorism is a designation used by state actors against non-state actors, oftentimes that are engaging in emancipatory movements. There are appropriate applications of said term, but it's a political one. It's not one that is noteworthy And the entire reason for this application is so that you can't even have a fucking discussion about why people are doing the things that they're doing. That's it. It's a thought termination cycle. That's all this is. It's so that, you know, any sort of discussion that tries to offer nuance to why certain militancies are formed and the ways that they operate, even if you don't agree with their fucking methods, you can't have this conversation at all. It's impossible to have this conversation. People will fucking lose their minds over it. They're like, no, we need to punish you immediately. It is in many ways no different than the appetite that this administration has in terms of punishing any kind of dissent against Israel at the point of immigration enforcement, saying like student activists are fucking attacking America's interests in the region. Like, we have to deport them. It's the same shit. It's just a different version of that same exact ridiculous demand for enforcement over speech.